Gotta love an unmixed beat. Getting those nice vibes, those nice Sunday vibes. And what's up, y'all? This is Tracy.
And this is Cedric.
You're kind of delayed, but it's okay. Because it's delayed because, anyway.
And we're through the crate. We're through the crate. We're through the crate. We're through the crate. We're through the crate.
It's delayed so you're off beat. It sucks. All right, but anyway, what's up, y'all? This is Tracy.
And this is Cedric.
And we are through the crate, digging through cultural and current events through the hip-hop lens. Let's get to it.
Get to it. Yeah.
All right. I
mean, is up?
Dude, life is amazing right now. You know why? We figured out a good way to, get this going and have our some content for our listeners. I mean, I'm excited.
Keep it going. Can't stop. Won't stop.
Can't stop.
It's all on the shoulders. That's it. The shoulders.
Kill them with the shoulders. All right. Cool. We have a packed agenda for these guys today, huh?
We do. It's great.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be flawless, as the kids say.
I don't know about flawless, but I mean, as flawless as we can be.
It's incredible.
The best show ever.
The best show. We've got all the incredible. This is really interesting stuff. I mean, I know all the top people in the podcasting space, and they keep telling me this is the best. It's the best all
they've
the top
seen.
People, the best they've seen. They know everything. I know everything. This is it.
I mean, we should just try it out, right? I mean, it's
Let's just do it.
We'll just try it out, right? Yeah. Let's do it.
So, do you think you can inject bleach?
Dude, if I could inject hip hop directly into my veins, I would. But
right.
This podcast is the closest thing to it, so fuck it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about some fucking topics and shit. Like, what do we want to do? Do we have a verse or anything like that? I don't think we get a verse for this.
There's no verse
today.
There's no need for a verse.
We have so much other shit that we want to talk about today. I feel like so.
So let's just talk about, I guess, trending music.
Yeah, I think. Let's start there.
Cool. Well, yeah, we have hopefully by now be accustomed to the name DaBaby.
Yes.
AKA Baby Jesus.
Right.
AKA killed a man in, I think it was a Walmart parking lot.
God. Killed a man in a Walmart?
Yeah, the dude was like
what?
Coming up to him, was being aggressive, so he killed him. Yeah.
All right.
But yes, DaBaby.
Interesting.
Charlotte rapper.
Charlotte.
He dropped his album called Blame It On Baby, and it's projected to go number 1 this week. So that would be his second number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of follows up his last number 1, which was Kirk.
Yeah.
And he had a run, bro. He had a freaking amazing 2019. And he's starting off 2020 like not losing steam at all. If anything, he's picking up steam. So
definitely.
Congrats to him. Did you get a chance to listen to it at all?
I have not. So this week has been really, really busy for me work-wise. So again, I think I've mentioned this before, but whenever I have to do my thinking and I need to like get my brain to start working, and I listen to jazz or like lo-fi instrumentals, like stuff like that doesn't have words. So I wasn't able to do that. Like I literally just reviewed Westside Gunn's album this morning. So, but I went through it with a fine-tooth comb. Like I got some thoughts and some stuff like that. But yeah. So I'm prepared for our stuff. I kind of jumped the gun on that one, but yeah.
Okay, well, fuck it. I mean, let's just get right into the Hip Hop Cafe then.
Yes, let's get right to it. Let's just do this.
Nice.
I can break it down like whatever you
want. So even though that was the verse shit, we're gonna use that one because we already used our new beat for the beginning. So
Sure,
this
why
means
not?
it just means I need to keep making different
Just
things for us.
don't stop.
Don't stop creating. Bam, bam, bam. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, no? All
That's
right.
your other half talking right there, right?
Shut up. Yes, I am half white. This happens. Okay? Jeez.
It happens.
God.
So, since Tressie, jumped the gun.
Oh.
we are going to be talking about Westside Gunn's latest full length. I guess it's in 2020. You can consider it to be a full length project. Pray for Paris.
Pray for Paris. Mm-hmm.
He is 1/3 of the rap group Griselda.
Yep.
Coming out of Buffalo.
Buffalo, New York. Are they a rap group, or is it just like a collective type of thing?
It's like a group collective thing, yeah.
Record label.
I still say group because it's like Wu-Tang. It's like it's a bunch of niggas, but like they,
bunch
they're
of niggas. Yeah. It's just a bunch of niggas.
Bunch of niggas, man. But Griselda made some splashes last year. They got signed to Shady Records. So they are like doing their thing now.
Definitely.
And they're making splashes because of their raw, gritty, street bars, throwback, boom bap style beats.
Yep.
Sample heavy beats. And just not being no bitch ass niggas.
I mean, 100%.
That's kind of their whole thing is we ain't no bitch ass rap niggas. So
yeah. We ain't no bitch ass rap niggas. That's it. That's gonna be my shit. I ain't no bitch ass rap nigga.
You really are.
I am? What the fuck? I didn't think I was. Damn it.
So what'd you think?
Yeah. So I got some thoughts. Want
to hear? Here you go.
Here you go. Yeah. Overall, like the whole album just feels like, like just how we describe them, like some old school, like classic hip hop shit that New York gutter, like, I used to be on the block all day serving all these cakes to your mama for her birthday. Like, that was a bar. That was a bar. What? On the top of the dome, man. What? Anyway.
Watch out, Westside. Watch out.
That's what this album does to you. It makes you want to get back into that whole, like, I'm gritty and I'm young and not like, it's crazy. Lots of wrestling references that I had to look up because I was just like, who the fuck are these people?
So apparently Westside does that a lot. Like a lot of his earlier projects, he had a lot of wrestling references too. So
I should probably
definitely like, dang.
Yeah, I should probably preface this with this is my first Westside Gunn listen. Like, this is my introduction to him. Like, I've heard of him before. I knew who he was, never really listened to his music. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, lots of cocaine talk,
Yes.
And the one thing I appreciate from him is that I believe his cocaine talk because he's 37. Because like the niggas that are like 20 or 23 and they're talking about selling cocaine and crack and shit, and to me it's like it was a bigger deal back when like niggas was like when Westside Gunn was like 20, you know what I mean? Like there was money to be made. Not saying that I'm like condoning the selling of crack, of selling of cocaine, drugs. But yeah, but like I believe that. Like it just means like this man was like the shit. It reminds me of that Schoolboy Q line. Fuck. I'll have to look it up. But this music also reminds me of Ross Caesar's music.
Nice.
It's you know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the slow, like I'm talking that shit, I'm swaggy with it, like I'm fly as fuck type shit, which is dope. And another thing about this project is I had to read the lyrics a lot. Like I had to, because the ad libs were so fucking loud. Like to me, like
Boo, 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 boo.
yeah. So it's just like, what is this guy saying? Like, as a new listener, how am I supposed to get into this? And
Right.
as much as I love the ad libs, I'm just like, I want to hear what you're actually saying. So that was kind of one of the things. And then another thing is like the first half of the album was like some like good drum beats and like some like good classic hip hop shit. And then the other side, like the second half of the album, like had no drums. You know what I mean? Like
So,
so.
I'm very glad you kind of brought that up because that's kind of like when I listen to my music now. I used to listen to everything flat,
Yeah.
but then I got these new headphones and the bass is fucking killer, right?
Yeah.
So I give it like a slight little bass boost just so I can kind of feel it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
There was like no low end on this project at all.
None.
Like, and it was,
right.
you know, part of me was like, fuck, man, I kind of just want some banging shit to just, you know, to bop to.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it was very refreshing. Like I could easily listen to it over and over again without getting the ear fatigue or,
right.
you know, like without getting a headache because the 808 is just fucking killing my skull.
Yeah. There's not a bunch of hi-hats everywhere, just ticking away, you know?
and like you said, half the album has no drums. So,
yeah.
But it was definitely refreshing to hear music that was mixed that way or music that was put together that way, where, I mean, the focus is literally on the samples and the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like the beats don't overshadow. Like, and that's one thing about it. Like, even though most of the beats were done by the in-house producer, a Derringer, all the other outside beats that he got, they still kind of fit that same soundscape. You know, they kind of had the same kind of vibe to them. Even though, I mean, Alchemist had some beats on here.
Yeah.
Premier. Now, Premier finally, that song had drums.
Yes, that song.
Had drums. Thank you.
But it also had that old school boom bap. Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, overall, this album was pretty interesting. Like, I don't know if I will go that far. I would probably listen to this again. I don't know if it would be in like my regular rotation. I have to be in like a certain mood.
Right.
But yeah. Also, another thing to comment about this album, I was way more in tune and way more interested in what his features were saying than what he was saying.
Interesting.
So, as I said, I read through the album, and I mean, like a lot of stuff that he was saying was cool. Maybe it's because I wasn't picking up on it. Maybe it's like it's references that I don't really understand. But there was, out of all of the verses, there was only one thing that really popped out to me that I thought was super cool that he said. It was the lyric was on Sean versus Flair. And the lyric was, "Know some ox pray 5 times a day and wear Christian." And I was like, that is a fly ass fucking bar. But he was also talking about a lot of shit that I probably just don't know about, which is why they kind of flew over my head.
So you know, one of the kind of cool things he did is kind of how he ends the album is pretty dope. There's like a tap dancing solo.
Yeah, I thought that was so amazing.
But that is totally a drug reference.
Really?
So when you
I'm such a square.
when you step on a brick, or like when you tap dance on a brick, right?
Oh,
you're stretching it out.
Got you. Yeah.
So, you know, some rappers make references like, you know, my shit is so clean and pure, it's never been stepped on. Like it's uncut, right?
Yeah.
So that whole concept was him just like, you know, stretching the shit out. And he, you know, obviously he says a lot of drug references. He's surprised I turned 1 and make it 2. Like, okay, yes, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I mean, one thing that kind of got me about this though is even though he is an older rapper, he's not of this generation of rappers. He's kind of our generation of rappers. The songs were pretty short overall. And I felt like I didn't get enough of Westside. And you know, even on the songs where he was the only artist, because there were a lot of features on here. There was a decent amount of features. But even on the songs where there wasn't a feature, some songs he would just have one verse.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, the song that you're referring to, the Sean vs. Flair, the one that's produced by DJ Premier. How you gonna take a Primo beat, bro, and just have one verse?
Yeah. That's kind of
You know, it's like it's a good verse. It's a dope verse, but you know, for me, if you get a legendary producer like that on your project,
right,
and you have one verse,
right,
that needs to be the intro, or that needs to be like a set interlude into a bigger. Like it needs to play into the bigger piece, and not just kind of be a song with one verse.
right.
You know, with that being said, overall, I mean, I think the project kind of does what it sets out to do. You know, with the name being, you know, Pray for Paris.
Paris, right.
You know, it was inspired by him being in Paris for Fashion Week.
Yeah.
And, you know, him talking to all these, you know, stars, people who are way bigger than him, and people knowing who he is, and, you know, him having this money and being able to enjoy his life. So this was a very artistic way to kind of talk about that braggadocious rapper lifestyle.
Yeah.
In a very, I think, non-conventional way, because these beats and the sound of this is not very like in your face. I'm bragging about all the money I got. Like when you think about a braggy record, you don't think about some of these songs.
No.
But you know,
but you think about. I was just gonna say, but you think about like the style in which he's saying it.
Right.
You know,
the East Coast swag that you always talk about, how they just say shit a certain way. You're just like,
damn, like he'll make fucking Eggo waffles sound cool. Waking up. No, I'm not even gonna try and freestyle again. I'm not even. I gotta be one and done. That birthday text was good, but yeah.
I mean, what do you think of his voice?
His voice was interesting on the like in the beginning, but now that I've listened to because this wasn't the first time I've listened to the album today. This is the first time I actually actively listened to the album. But it was interesting because he's super high pitched. He's up there and he's talking to you like this, and I'm gonna kill your mom. I don't know, shit like that. Like, and so it's kind of like you're taken aback, but then once you get used to it, like you understand why people love that shit.
Right.
Yeah, his voice was fine. I mean, I don't want to hear him sing. Like that girl, that girl record that he tried to attempt.
And why does he keep calling her a bitch?
I wrote down. Let me tell you. Let me
you, bitch. Like, bro, calm the fuck down, dude.
My exact note on that was the way he says bitch makes me feel dirty.
Yeah, and the way she's all singing, and she's singing all pretty behind it.
With like
he's like, bitch, and she's just, bitch. Like,
she's got the effects on her voice and all this like nice, like, and he's just like, I'm cutting through, bitch. Like he's cutting through, like it just doesn't fit. So that song was super crazy. But then Wale's on that song, and Wale's fucking verse was fucking killer on that song.
Yeah.
His verse was great. And then I also loved the way that he referenced like all the Black designers in like such a creative way, like how, and then also like kind of referencing to what he just did on Wow That's Crazy with Sumi. You know, shouting out to Issa, like I'm rooting for everyone Black, you know, the Issa Rae shit. So just like that was super like dope the way he was doing that. But yeah, I can't stand him singing. I can't.
But I think that honestly speaks to the respect that rappers have for Westside Gunn and Griselda in general. Is that when they came, and every guest on this project, when they came in, they all killed it except for one person. I'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll see.
Everybody killed it, but they also kind of loosely tied in the Paris fashion art theme throughout their verses. So like you said, you know, Wale was talking about different designers, you know, and every person who contributed to it kind of added that little artscape to it as well.
Right.
I thought Freddie Gibbs fucking murdered his verse, yo.
Oh my God.
Oh fuck, bro.
Yes.
$500 ounces. Freddie Gibbs by far chewed that beat up, swallowed it, threw it up, and then ate that bitch again.
That's gross.
Exactly. It was disgusting.
Yes. He did really well. I loved that song. Or like just but that's the thing I said. That's why I was trying to say like his features were more stand out than him on this album. But also I think he also like kind of not coached them, but a lot of the ones like Wale and Freddie Gibbs, they had a lot of wrestling references too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lot of these people like they respect it, and like like you can tell like that they respected it, and that they intentionally wanted to make sure that they fit the
Exactly.
aesthetic. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Exactly. I don't know. The same song though, that dude Rock, couldn't stand it. It was awful. It was the worst thing I've heard. It's on the whole project. Like that is the one.
I have that note here too.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's absolutely like, and it's the unorthodox flow.
I need some
the
lotion.
Like.
Sorry.
I mean, now if what he's saying is not the worst thing, like the worst thing ever, but his delivery, his voice, horrible. It's awful. It's terrible.
I don't mind his voice. His delivery sucked.
It's terrible.
It was just like a run-on sentence.
I can't. Don't make me, please.
It was a run-on
sentence. One of my other favorite songs is the one called George Bondo.
Yeah.
That's the one with all of Griselda on there.
Yeah.
And I mean, their chemistry is just like,
yeah, they've been doing this.
And like something about the producer and rapper combination, like when you get in that niche where you guys are just kind of side by side, shoulder to shoulder, you can tell, kind of like how DaBaby has his producer who kind of came up with him and kind of made that sound. Derringer's been lacing these guys up with beats for a while, and the sound just like fits their voices so fucking well. It fits kind of what you're saying. Like they're like they ain't no bitch ass rappers, and it sounds that way. And like, man, Benny the Butcher had some, gave a nice little shout out to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
What did he said? Think it's a game until I Patrick Kane somebody homie.
Yeah.
That sliding through with a stick. Shooting one by the goalie.
Yeah,
it's bars, man. Like
no, it's great. And I read that Patrick Kane is originally from Buffalo, so that's crazy. I mean,
bars.
Just another bars. I mean, one of my favorite. I mean, I like that song because it also introduced me to who George Condo is. They changed the
because he's big and back being bull,
right? Like a lot of these people are. And then it just made, when I found out who he was, it just made me like, as soon as I found out who he is, and that he did my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yeah.
In my head, I just go, all of the lights, and like I just started playing the interlude before, because that is one of my favorite fucking intros to a fucking track. But so yeah, I started thinking about that. One of my favorite songs is the 327 song. That song,
I was gonna say, yeah.
So good. Joey has a line that I actually thought has a double entendre, I believe. So let me look at I have the actual line that he said, but that I liked, but I want to bring up the full line just so to give some context.
So you're just shooting out random bars at people and having them be like, oh, context.
Yeah, I want to give the context. So so this is during Joey's part, he's talking about sitting with
Derringer's been lacing these guys up with beats for a while, and the sound just like fits their voices so fucking well. It fits kind of what you're saying. Like they're like they ain't no bitch ass rappers, and it sounds that way. And like, man, Benny the Butcher had some, gave a nice little shout out to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
What did he said? Think it's a game until I Patrick Kane somebody homie.
Yeah.
That sliding through with a stick, shooting one by the goalie.
Yeah.
It's bars, man. Like
no, it's great. And I read that Patrick Kane is originally from Buffalo. So that's crazy. Just another bars. I mean, one of my favorite. I mean, I like that song because it also introduced me to who George Condo is. They changed the
because he's big and back being bull,
right? Like a lot of these people are. And then it just made, when I found out who he was, it just made me like, as soon as I found out who he is and that he did that my beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
head, I just go all of the lights, and like just started. I just started playing the interlude before because that is one of my favorite fucking intros to a fucking track. But so yeah, I started thinking about that. One of my favorite songs is the 327 song. That song,
I was gonna say, yeah.
so good. Joey has a line that I actually thought has a double entendre, I believe. So let me look at I have the actual line that he said, but that I liked, but I want to bring up the full line just so to give some context.
So you're just shooting out random bars at people and having them be like, oh, context.
Yeah, I want to give the context. So so this is during Joey's part, he's talking about sitting with the Six Deuce with Puff and Hova, and the lines are talk about last night's $10,000 bottles of Petrus, sip it like it's juice, homie. How could I lose? The shit that these fools will do to be in my shoes. I'm done playing by the rules. Learn from the OGs. I'm retiring the jewels. So with him saying I'm retiring the jewels, like in Genius, it says like, you know, he's trying to reinvest his money into actual assets and not something that'll depreciate in value like jewels and things of that nature. But what I thought it was, I really thought that it had to do with since he's talking about these haters, he's talking about like what these people would do to be in his shoes. I feel like he's also saying like I'm retiring the jewels, meaning I'm not giving up these gems to these people that don't even respect me anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm retiring the jewels. I'm not giving you these gems. So I was like, that's pretty dope. Like it could be taken both ways.
It's true because I mean, Joey has even himself said, you know, I'm not doing like 1999. Like it's done. Like that was me, and now I'm not that same kid anymore. You know, I'm on some other shit. So
yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, I mean, like everyone showed up and showed out. I mean, Tyler's verse was fucking fire too. Like I just
so that 327 might be my favorite songs too. I think it's maybe one of the most pop friendly songs. Like sonically, it sounds the most easily listenable. I think out of most of the tracks. Like it's definitely not the most underground sounding song on here.
No.
Compared to a lot of the other shit that has no drums.
Right. I thought it was also interesting on so the one song that I heard before this whole album was Allah Sent Me. And this song I knew, and I don't really mind him singing because he's not really singing on it because he's just like
I don't like it. Nope.
I don't mind it. I really don't. For some reason, it doesn't sound that bad. And like, ayo, I miss the days that Bricks was only 19. Like that, like the way he like drags that on. Like to me, that also shows a little bit of the swag, and I think that's what he was trying to do on French Toast. But on this one, it just comes through better, just because
this one's better. This one's better.
Yes. But it comes through better on this one just because like he is like it's a gutter fucking song and he's talking about gutter shit. Like you can't sing to women and expect like I mean some women are into that shit. Like they want like that gutter, you know, like they want that shit, but it's I mean I'm just saying that like it just didn't come through to me at least as a woman. It was not something like because that French Toast was intended to be a lady song, like he said on what is it, DJ Booth, or one of the things he was like, yo, this is supposed to be a way for me to get, you know, more women at my show because it would just be all dudes. I'm trying to get these ladies out, but you can't call me a bitch like that and expect me to want it. I mean some women might, I don't know, whatever your kink is, but that was just not for me.
All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, one thing I do have to say about Allah Sent Me was again, their chemistry on that song.
They complement each other so well.
And how there's like an unorthodox way that they go back and forth. It's not like I do 4 bars, you do 4 bars, you do 4 bars. I like that. You know, it kind of keeps you on your toes and it shows that just their and their chemistry is just so fluid. Like it's not forced. It's just like this is what we do, bro. We just rap together.
Yeah, the call and response is not expected. It's unpredictable.
Right.
You know, like you don't know who's gonna come in, who's not, and it's just it's awesome. I mean, I love Griselda's energy. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty dope. I understand. So like now that like I've gone through this album, and I kind of understand why people are really like involved and liking what Griselda has to offer, because it's nostalgic in a sense, and it's like giving you that raw gritty shit that, I mean, nobody was really giving us like this, you know. It gives me a YouTube not a YouTube, excuse me, a Wu-Tang, Mob Deep, fucking like
Right.
some what is it, Black Moon type shit. No, Black Moon's a little, not, I don't know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I guess overall, I thought it was a good project. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
for exactly what it was. You know, he accomplished, I think, what he set out to do, which is to make a artsy, braggadocious, gutter ass rap album.
Right.
My biggest critiques, I mean, don't say it.
What'd you say?
I said my biggest critiques, don't
sing. Uh-huh.
And just give me a little more. Just give me a little more, you know? 1.5 minute songs, 2 minute songs. You know, I expect that from the little yachties and the other peeps. But
Okay.
if you're on a DJ Premier beat, I really want that to be a little bit more fleshed.
I'd have to disagree. I appreciated the length of the album and the length of the songs. 13 songs, 41 minutes. That was fine for me. You gave me, I think some of the like the songs that, no, yeah, I appreciated it. I think that this is something that he could do so that he can appeal to the people that listen to the Lil Yachty's and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's gonna really appeal to them with the content, but he's talking about selling drugs, not doing them. So I don't know.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. That's one other. Just one question I had.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever notice how like rappers brag about how good they are at selling drugs?
Yeah.
But then they also have songs talking about like how broke they are.
What do you mean, like how broke they are?
Like how now I'm in rap, and so like now I have all this money, but then they're also bragging about like how much money they made in the streets. It's always just kind of been interesting to me. Like, if you're making so much money in the streets, why don't you just do that?
Because the risk versus reward, my guy.
Okay.
You want to die? Like I want to not have to look over my shoulder every day. That's been a very common theme in ex-drug dealer rappers.
Exactly, but it also makes me not believe half of them, or most of them that do that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but yeah, there's, yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, that was the Hip Hop Cafe. Yay! Too loud?
No, you're fine. I just turn my shit up a little bit.
I'm trying to keep the levels correct.
So,
dude, you gotta stop yelling. Like, calm down.
I'm not yelling. This is how I talk.
Dude, it's real loud. Come on.
Ain't you never seen my movies?
Dude. Come on.
So,
right.
A lot of shit's going on, guys. A lot of shit's going on in the world today, as you already know. Yes. Obviously, we are doing this because of, COVID. And I feel like it's driving everybody a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting a little stir crazy. Like I'm at home and I'm just like, some days I'm up here, other days I'm like down here, and it's like just wanna like do stuff. And I think it's got some rappers in their feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
like who?
There's an incident that started, and it kind of took the hip hop internet by storm. French Montana versus Kendrick Lamar versus Young Thug. So let's take it from the beginning and then give your quick thoughts on this thing because it's been a thing.
Right.
So Complex's Speedy Mormon, he interviewed French Montana, and he got one hell of a fucking soundbite. The rapper recently had an IG live battle with Canadian rapper Tory Lanez, in which many people said he won, which I think he did too. Because who is Tory Lanez? Speedy asked French, do you think there's someone else better to face off than Tory Lanez? And who would that person be? Honestly, French said, I could go against anybody. You could put somebody like Kendrick Lamar next to me on the same stage at a festival, and I might outshine him. Not because I'm a better rapper or whatever it is. It's just I have more hits. And this had motherfuckers going crazy. But even after like people were going nuts on him, he didn't back down. He sent off tweets like, if we just talking about anthems, me versus Kendrick hit for hit, believe me, I can go neck to neck. I've been making hits for a long time. It ain't my fault I believe in myself. How was I supposed to answer that question? How many times I gotta prove myself before I get mine? I love it. That's not just for Kendrick, that's for anybody they put me in front of. Ask me that same question. What you want me to say? It should be your attitude too. If you think any less of yourself, don't blame it on the next person who don't set it up.
Love your acting skills.
Thank you. Thank you. I just feel like I just can't but you know what? He kind of has a point, right? I mean, you're supposed to feel like you're the shit, right?
Yep.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think he was out of pocket?
I think he's out of pocket. I don't think he's out of pocket for saying that he could compete. I think everyone should think that they can compete.
Right.
Realistically, he can't. But I mean, they're in two different ballparks. Like it's two different sports that they're playing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
That's kind of what it is to me. But if you wanted to put Kendrick in that space, I really do think that Kendrick could hold his own against French in that space. And the space that I'm thinking is like that club space. When he talks about the festival stage, I think that's crazy because a lot of festival goers are the internet people, and that's all Kendrick's base.
Exactly. And what kind of drove me crazy about the initial comment? He brought up Kendrick.
Yeah.
Speedy didn't bring up Kendrick.
He wasn't saying that. Yeah, he didn't say
French
that.
brought up Kendrick. He could have chosen anybody. He chose to go for the throne. Yeah. And so the backlash is, to be expected. And what was a little unexpected was some of the people who were coming to Kendrick's aid very quickly. One of which being Young Thug.
Right.
So Young Thug pretty much came out on social media and just started like French constantly with like, I mean, he was going on live. He was like posting little videos. He was putting up captions. I'm not going to repeat some of the shit, but it's just, he was throwing a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Which, I was thinking some of those things, but then it kind of quickly escalated into something completely different.
Right.
And it turned out to be some shit that happened last year about some woman between French and Thug.
Interesting. I didn't know that was happening. A woman? So just like, it was just, okay.
So apparently French and...
Go ahead.
Apparently French and Thug got into it last year at some club or some party. And it was all about a woman. It was all based on a woman.
Okay.
French went on to Everyday Struggle. He kind of broke it down like, it started a year ago. We were I didn't even realize that I had talked to this woman and he was mad, and I thought we were cool. But so, yeah, it's just, and then, Young Thug talking about, French doesn't have a lot of money. French talking about Young Thug wearing a dress. It's like
in his video.
It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's petty. I mean, overall, I mean, wow at these it just further proves the point that rappers are just like any other artist and they're sensitive. Like
Right.
these like everyone, they're sensitive, which means that like if there's a woman that's involved or whatever, like you're gonna get mad about something and then all of a sudden a beef is there. And like we don't understand it also to me is like an insecurity thing too.
Yes.
And like these a lot of these beasts that are based off of nothing, like right here a woman, like come on bro, like there's plenty of them out there that I'm sure will fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if this one was a special one, which it doesn't seem like it. I don't know because neither of them are with this woman. But I don't know. It's just interesting to me. Like the insecurities are out there. And then also, god damn it, French, he gets a lot of fucking girls. And I don't get it. He's not good
Yeah.
looking. So is Young Thug. I don't get I mean, to each their own, whatever your kink is. I guess that's gonna be my theme this.
Whatever
You
your
like
kink
being
is.
called you like being called bitch like that? That's your kink. You like niggas that wear dresses? Hey, that's your kink. But I'm not judging. But I really don't like all the piercings in his face. Hey, that's your kink.
And it's just if you're just talking about music, Young Thug, we can talk about
Oh,
the music. You know what I'm saying? We can
yes.
if you want to dispute French's claim that he has more hits than Kendrick, great. You know what? French Montana, 0 number
Keep,
ones. He only has 2 in the top 10, and only
yeah.
17 songs actually charted. Kendrick Lamar, 2 number ones, 8
Yeah.
top 10, 48 total chart entries, right?
Yeah.
So if you want
Yeah.
to break down the facts, you can talk in facts.
Right.
But Mr.
Right.
Young Thug, he's to take it somewhere completely different. And
Right.
that's my main problem
Yep.
with a lot of these rappers and a lot of the beefs that happen. It's we're not talking about what the actual beef is about. We're taking it
Right.
somewhere completely left. Keep it in the
Yep.
music. I love that shit. I love music
Yep.
beef. I mean, the whole Versus series, it's lighthearted, it's
It's
all love, and it's for the culture.
yep.
That's fine. Have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation, but don't escalate it and start threatening people on Instagram. You
Right.
petty,
Right.
bro.
Right. Yeah. It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
fine. It's fine.
It's fine. And that's why I just shrug it off because it's the insecurities showing. That's it.
Right. Right.
I move on.
Well, maybe if these guys had more education, they may have,
Ooh.
maybe be able to handle their conflict a little bit better. But
Talk
neither,
about a segue.
you know what I'm saying? But neither one of them, neither one of them obviously had an Ivy League education. But for those of you wishing that you had an Ivy League education, you might want to think twice. So,
Ooh.
according to Politico, Stanford University is withdrawing an application for about $7.5 million it would get in federal emergency funding based on its numbers of poor students. Harvard is also rejecting $8.7 million, citing the intense focus from politicians.
Okay.
Princeton said it's not accepting $2.4 million that it was supposed to get.
Interesting.
Yale, another Ivy League college, also said that they would be returning their funds. And in case you guys don't know, there was an aid package specifically for universities to use to help poor students who are, classes are canceled in most universities because of COVID. So they may, they don't have a place to live because they're supposed to be living on campus. Now they can't. So this aid is supposed to be going to students to help them get through these hard times. And the lion's share of a lot of the relief money went to public universities. But still, there's still private universities and for-profit colleges who are getting some of this money. Why is that, you might say? Well, a lot of these Ivy League colleges, a lot of these larger universities have these things called endowments. There's pretty much chunks of money that they set aside and they invest in stocks, bonds, and all this type of shit, just like you would for your 401k.
Okay.
Every year they add to it and it accumulates over years and years and years and years and years and years. Harvard has like $38 billion in their endowment.
Wow.
Billion.
Okay.
And a lot of these Ivy League colleges have billions of dollars in their endowments. So the fact that these universities, who are private universities, are taking public funds and then using these public funds when they have a war chest in savings endowment that they could pull from in times of need, why are they taking my money and your money? I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I didn't like when you told me about the story. I was very interested, and I'm glad you broke it down that way. Another thing that I wanted to ask you is about withdrawing their application, which means that they applied knowing what would happen with those funds, like how that they would get them, or like I'm just wondering, like when they applied and now they're withdrawing it because of backlash.
Because of public pressure, yeah. I mean, even Donald Trump came out and was like, "Yo, Harvard, give me the fucking money back. Fuck you.
Yeah,
You guys have all this fucking money. You're one of you know how much it costs to go to Harvard?
yeah, it's very expensive.
It's insane.
Yeah,
And
these are for-profit colleges, no?
Harvard's not. Harvard's not
No?
a for-profit college. They're
Okay.
for-profit. It's a private. It's a private university. It's not necessarily
Okay.
for-profit.
Got you.
For-profit are like your Western Career College.
College
You can
can do it. Yeah.
So that's a for-profit.
Okay.
Harvard is not technically considered a for-profit.
But it sounds
University.
like they got profit. But anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, but it's I don't know. For me, it raises the question of how true are a lot of these politicians about free market and
Mm-hmm.
socialism and socialism versus capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
the free market pick winners and choosers. The government should not intervene, but then the government does intervene.
Right.
Intervenes for the likes of the privileged, like Yale and Harvard.
Right.
So it's I don't know. It just seems not fair to me, and the optics are terrible. I mean, there was stories that came out last week of some larger chains taking money that was supposed to be going to mom and pop shops.
Oh yeah.
And I think it just speaks more to the bigger kind of nature of our economy as a whole. It's not meritocracy. It's who you know. It's how much money you have and how much influence you have for how much you're gonna get back.
True. Did you see? This is a quick tangent. Did you see how everybody's going in on Nancy Pelosi and having her Jenny's ice cream, and then how
It should.
and then also how Whoopi was like trying to defend it because Jenny's ice cream is a small business. I was just like, Jenny's ice cream, small business. I don't think that's a small fucking business. If you, Nancy Pelosi, and all these other motherfuckers is buying $12 fucking pints, that shit doesn't sound fucking small. You say, I send people these things all the time. Okay. Like, then it's like, what qualifies as a small business to you?
Right.
But because they're not making fucking billions and billions of dollars or something?
And I mean,
like, what?
I've stopped taking The View seriously. Like the first
I've
time
never.
I mean, exactly the first time I even like.
What? Who? I used to love Whoopi until she started talking. Like,
right,
what?
shut your mouth. And I mean, I can't even react to her words because she's done interviews where she's not even known what the fuck she's talking about and been.
I'm done.
So,
yeah.
So I you know what? I don't even care.
That's all the.
The fact that she has a show and she can talk about these types of things without challenging the actual, the actual issues, without challenging any of the issues. Wow. Anyway, the whole Nancy Pelosi thing just takes me somewhere else because
it does.
If you watch that interview, she proves she's not social distancing herself. She says, "Oh yes, we just restocked the freezer for Easter because my family." And then she stopped and cut herself off.
Yeah.
And continued on.
Yeah.
So she had her family over for Thanksgiving. Fuck her or Easter.
Thanksgiving.
Anyway, yeah. But yeah, it kind of speaks to the whole.
But that's why I brought it up because it's like small. That's not a small business.
Right.
And these colleges, they don't need these funds. The
Right.
people that need them are the ones that are essential workers, that the people that are not making that are actually small businesses,
Right.
and that money's just not getting allocated that way, and it's because of the bills that are being passed and shit like that. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And if you in these big colleges with all these endowments, can you let some more niggas in?
Yeah, I mean, let
Like,
what's so
y'all
funny?
got the money. Shit.
What's so funny is I just finished watching. There was this episode this TV show called Shrill on Hulu. It's
Never
by
heard of it.
Adie Bryant. It's by Adie Bryant. She's Adie Bryant's on SNL. She's got her own TV show on Hulu. What she is, she's like she works for a paper that's kind of like a small town paper in Portland, I believe. She goes to this thing called WAHAM, and it's just women are. It's basically stands for Women Are Making a Moment, and it's like $300 to go into. It's like one of those like conferences or whatever, right? $300 a ticket. And so at one point she goes, so she's asking the leader of it, and she's like, hey, because she was able to get an interview. She was like, why, when you're saying that this is a movement for women, but it seems like the price point is a little outrageous. Like, how do you expect like lower income people to get in? She goes, oh, we have like a lower income um thing, like we have a program. And as soon as she asks that question, she's like, okay, I have to go now, sorry. And so she asks the assistant, is there any way I can get an interview with some of these low income people that have come through the program? And he goes, oh, I'm sorry, you can't, she had to work.
Shit.
Yes. She can't, she had to work, so she couldn't make it. What? So yeah, so it's just like that's what our government is. That's what's happening. You know what I mean? Like it's funny. Shrill is a good TV show. It's kind of weird at the first, but once you get into it, it's pretty funny. But yeah, yeah, that's how shit's working nowadays.
Yeah, and
You
it's
think?
like the people who work and who
Yeah,
have to work for a living, the working class people,
yeah.
who tend to be, um, more minority and a more a part of the culture. It's happening. It's happening.
It's
Um,
all happening.
those people
Ooh, it's so
tend to
cold
always
too.
get the shorter end of the stick, whether it's
Yeah,
higher education, whether it's in getting government subsidies or getting any type of government assistance, or even when it comes to their safety. I mean,
mm-hmm.
look at what's happening in Georgia right now.
Yeah,
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp went ahead with plans to begin reopening his state on Friday, which Friday that's already passed, so this has already happened.
right.
Hair salons, gyms, spas, tattoo parlors, bowling alleys, they're all open again. And then on this Monday, which will be today, I guess if you're listening on the day this drops,
Mm-hmm.
will also be allowed to open for dine-in service during a fucking pandemic. Many residents and local government officials are not supportive of the governor's decision.
Right.
Atlanta mayor, let's guess what ethnic group the Atlanta mayor is. Atlanta
Yes.
mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms
Yes.
urged residents to stay home.
Right.
She's quoted as saying, just stay home. Listen to the scientists.
Yep.
There is nothing essential about going to a bowling alley or getting a manicure in the middle of
A pandemic.
President Trump, believe it or not, who initially showed support for Kemp, has walked his comments back.
Yeah.
Actually, the White House released a 3-step phase for reopening of the country.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump said, I told Governor Brian Kemp that I disagree strongly with his decision to open certain facilities which are in violation of the phase 1 guideline. I want to do things that he thinks is right, but I disagree with him on what he's doing. So first of all, why is anybody opening up right now?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me that anybody would even try and think that this is okay. Like there's no cure.
Right.
People are still dying.
Yep.
Why do we need to open up? Like, people need to just fucking calm down. Like, I understand like the mental health of of the country and shit is in jeopardy.
Right.
But at the same time, like, we're dying. Like,
Right.
people are dying, and it's very interesting for this governor in particular, because we know what the majority of people that frequent and actually work in barbershops and in nail salons. What are you doing? A drum roll?
Niggas. It's a drum roll. It's a drum roll.
That was the worst. Like, that's gonna hurt people's ears. But anyway, but yeah, dude, like, it's crazy. So, and like, we are the most affected by this pandemic, like, because of our um pre-existing health conditions, and the fact that we don't like to go to the doctor, and we can't go to the doctor because half of us don't have jobs that provide benefits. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so, like, with all of those things coming together, like, and you think about, like, this man just saying, oh, y'all can go back to doing the shit that y'all do. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's dumb. I don't understand why I mean, our fucking president's telling us to fucking put bleach in our fucking veins, telling us to drink fucking disinfectant. Like, it doesn't, like, the shit is hitting the fan. Like, we're in a pandemic, we're forced to stay home, and our president is telling us to drink bleach. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, this is gonna be in history books.
So just
like, kids are gonna learn about this.
Slight tangent since you brought it up. Across the country, states and local municipalities are reporting increased costs to the
yes.
What is that shit called? The fucking
like the
poisonous control people, because people are actually doing it. Yeah, it's stupid.
It's dumb. Like, it, and because people listen to these people,
right?
Like, and then it just also comes back to my philosophy. Like, now I don't even know what the fuck to call it, but the fact that critical thought is lost. Nobody knows how to think for themselves. Nobody. Like, it's crazy. You're drinking bleach because somebody that's dumber than you told you to. Like, and then actually, I mean, I don't know if they're dumber than you because you're drinking bleach. Like, what? So yeah, this shit is crazy. This is the world we live in right now. I just hope that all of our listeners are not drinking bleach.
Please don't.
And I hope that all of our listeners that are in Georgia stay home.
Please.
Just stay home.
Look at my shit, guys. Look at this. You see that? It's fucking it's the worst. But you know what? I'm not going to get my shit done.
Nah, man.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You know, I'm not going to put my life on the line, my wife's life on the line, the person doing my hair's life on the line.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not worth it. Why? Because my shit looks fucked up? I'll be all right. Y'all
exactly.
See it. Give me a few weeks. I'm going to get my shit right. Why?
Yo, would you cut him?
Maybe. If it gets too fucked up, I might have to. We'll see. It's just hair. This shit grows back. It's whatever.
You'd have to start all over.
Yeah, whatever. It's just hair.
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Just hair.
I put on makeup today.
You did? Oh, look at you. Yeah, no, I can tell. Look
you know what I'm saying? No, I got this like light over here trying to like show my good side.
Look amazing.
I don't know. But anyway.
But yeah, no. So please, don't open up. Stay closed.
Yeah.
And be safe.
Yeah, dude. Be safe, man.
Fuck Georgia. You know who can also get fucked twice? The mayor of Las Vegas.
Oh God, I haven't. So tell me what's happening. I've intentionally have not seen anything about this. Just tell me the whole story.
So
let me know what's happening.
In a nutshell,
and then we can just end it after this.
Yeah. She was interviewed by Anderson Cooper, and she pretty much summing up the whole conversation. She wants Las Vegas to be a case study for what happens if you open everything up. However, so when Anderson Cooper asked her, okay, are you going to be on the casino floor? Oh, no. I don't. He's
she
like,
said, I don't what?
I don't gamble. And then he also asked her, so how do you think these casinos are gonna open, do social distancing. She goes, I don't know. That's not my job. I'm not a private owner. That's not my job to figure out. If I owned a casino, it would be the cleanest casino. We'd have social distancing, and it would be perfect. But that's not my job. Free market, free market, free market, free market. She said the free market would wean out those businesses that didn't social distance properly because
What
people would
the
get sick.
fuck is wrong with this bitch? What? And she just said, I don't gamble. Bitch, you gambling with everybody that's in your goddamn city's lives. Like,
Sorry.
what is happening?
Yes.
What is
facts.
happening?
That is
You
a
are
gamble.
gambling. You
Bro,
do
so-
gamble, bitch.
So if y'all haven't seen it, please just watch the video. It's a half-hour long interview. I couldn't get through the whole thing. There's plenty of abridged versions where you get all highlights.
Little
And it's
sound
amazing. Oh, but it's, you know what? This whole process is opening up, I think, a lot of people's eyes to the realities of how this system is in general. So hopefully we come out on the other side higher than we were before and more informed. It's fine.
Yeah. Man.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's some dumb motherfuckers out there. Some dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah, well, shit. I had to take the metronome out of there. I don't even know why I was in there. But anyway, fuck. We're out of this bitch then. Stay home, stay safe.
Yes, please.
We're gonna keep giving you guys this good ass content for your fucking life. We appreciate you all. And we out this motherfucks.
Deuces.
Deuce is. Oh, I should turn it up. If we're just gonna dance, I'm gonna turn it up.